phrases you can use for your IELTS Writing Task 2 essay for the conclusion. Now, this video is divided into 3 parts. First, we look at the list of phrases. Second, I'll give you some advice, some tips, some knowledge on how to use these phrases. And then finally, we're going to use a phrase in a real IELTS Task 2 question, so you know exactly what to do when it comes to the exam. So let's jump straight into it. So here we have our lovely phrases. You can see that we've got the starting phrase, which says this essay set out to, and then what we do is we add one of those 8 alternatives underneath. So we could say this essay set out to establish whether, and then we relate it back to the question. Or this essay set out to determine whether, this essay set out to develop a model for, probably not going to use that one. This essay set out to better understand the issues. So we've got a few options there, and then we put on whatever is relevant to our essay. In the same regard, we could say this essay set out to, and then you can take over from there. This essay has argued that the effects of globalization are ever increasing, and with that comes ever increasing dangers, whatever. Okay? Last one, or the final ones. Overall, this essay strengthens the idea that equality for both genders is an important issue. Okay? This essay has discussed the reasons for. In this essay, the aim was to assess. The aim of this essay was to examine. Now, I say use these with caution. Okay, this is the second part of the video where I'm just going to tell you how to use them. I'll give you advice. Use them with caution because you can start to sound verbose. Verbose is when you use a lot of words to describe something that could be described with less. The opposite of verbose is succinct, and succinct is the gold standard for your writing. This is what we want to be aiming for. Verbose writing is often encouraged in other writing systems, in other writing cultures. I know, for example, in Spanish, that using as many of these set phrases is often encouraged, especially in academic or in legal or in bureaucratic texts. However, with academic English, the opposite is true. We want to say as much as possible with as many words as we can. This is why I say use these with caution, because we're adding words that are not entirely necessary. That is, we can say the same using less words often. However, writing in a succinct style is sometimes not possible for certain students because they just haven't reached that level yet, in which case using these phrases can be quite useful, and it can be, I don't like saying this, but it can be a little shortcut in improving your work. So if you're around a 5, 6, 6.5, perhaps these sentences would help you. A good analogy is that when you've got crutches, you know, if you break your leg or your knee or ankle, something like that, and then you're given those crutches that go under here and here, and you walk like that, you're going to be walking and you're going to reach a destination. However, your leg, if you keep on using these crutches, your legs never get stronger. Eventually, you've got to throw the crutches away. These are crutches, these phrases. So that's what I'm saying. Just use them with caution. Now, let's have a look at these in action, i.e. in a conclusion. By the way, I forgot to mention that we can use them at the end of our paragraphs as well. Not just at the end of our essay. There are ways to incorporate these into our paragraphs, and but once again, same rules apply. Just be careful. you do run the risk of sounding verbose, especially if you overload your essay with these copy-paste phrases. So just bear that in mind, please. Use these with caution. Let's carry on. So imagine we've got the question. In some countries, people think that women should have equality with men, in particular equal rights to work as police officers or serve in the army. Others think that women are not suitable for such jobs. Discuss both views and give your opinion. So, if we're going to use this, one of these phrases, for example, we're going to use returning to the question posed at the beginning of this essay, it is now possible to state that, okay, women with adequate and thorough preparation are suitable for some positions historically held by men. So we have to adapt the sentence and make it unique in the fact that it's unique for this essay. We cannot say something like, returning to the question posed at the beginning of this essay, it is now possible to state that we have reached a formal conclusion of the advantages of this issue. Okay, this is terrible, terrible, terrible writing because there's nothing there, that's empty. So this is why you must adapt these sentences and make them correspond to the question or to the topic of that paragraph. Otherwise, you're not doing yourself any favors. You're just wasting time because you could be writing something that's going to get you points rather than just copy-pasting the sentence that's not going to pick you up hardly anything. Okay, so if you need more help with these, and if you're struggling with your writing, you can have a look at the online course, and there's lots of modules, and we don't rely so much as the phrases, but we do have a structure that's much easier to follow. So before I made the analogy of the crutches, okay, if we keep with this analogy, the structure that we developed and that we teach on the online course is the same as one of those bionic suits. Okay, suddenly you've got muscles and you've got power and you can sprint, and it's just a lot easier. And so all these obstacles that are stopping you, go straight through them. Okay, so if you feel like you'd benefit from that, have a look at the online course. And if you are struggling with your work, you can also get feedback on your essays at the IELTSPodcast.com. So good luck with your IELTS preparation, and thank you for watching. Take care.